Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm recording. Yeah. Okay. Call the Perik Sheni. Call the use Shem Shemaim. Or the pathway should use Shem Shemaim. That's pretty simple, right? Let's see what he has to say on this. Call the use Shem Shemaim. Bemitzu Amidos. Amidos. One of his other smart. Be'anu Torah Derech. L'Oreal Derech Harachav. L'Achea Darchi Noam B'chol Nesiva Seh Shalom. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Derech of Torah is broad Derech. And Sivoseh means the smallest branch of street. The Derech of Torah is Noah. All the pathways are Shalom, whereas the overarching uh, value is Noam, and the smaller pathways are Shalom, the implication being not necessarily all of them, but most of them are Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
Because Noam is very much Shalom. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so he says here, that's the idea. Derech mara derech harachav v'tor orach nesiv, when we use the word orach nesiv mari mount shvilim amifatzlim on pathways off the derech harachav from the main road. Achas here one of them. Lo yitekin adam la'asig b'sichlo talchos orchos yosher. A person cannot perceive the way he wants to explain it here is the person in his mind cannot grasp the pathways of the roads of small roads of yosher of straightness. That's not the right translation. Or the pathways of shlemus. There's a beyond your capacity to understand. Orach Chaim Pentifales, no Magloselo Teda. These do not try to attempt to pave your own Orach Chaim, because its pathways are just going to take you into unknown regions. So the way he's explaining it, the smaller pathways are hard for a person to see. In other words, how everything in the world it kind of works out for Noah, or everything in the world works out for what's he saying here? Yosher and Shlemus. That's not we can't perceive that. All we can perceive is the major derech. Okay, we can see the broad path. We don't understand, and we'll get lost. We try and go through the intricate pathways of details and nuances. It's kind of explaining that, you try to understand Tzaddik Varalo, you're not going to understand it because
Right.
there are too many intricate details. You can't get it. You just have to know. Be a tzaddik. That's all. Okay. So I don't know if that's what it means, but that's how give us an emotional. Right? You can't the small passages you can't get. But what do you have to choose? You have to choose with the power of your seichel. You got to go straight. At least the broad and revealed street which you're going on, will be a proper derech. Then Hashem will help you out. That they won't stumble in the small narrow streets. Everyone just called the broad ways. It also includes here the constant. Separate issue. The EU should know God in all your drachim. Derech Eretz, even in matters which are Derech Eretz, Umaso Maton, matters of the mundane world and commercial world. You have Kulam L'Shem Shamayim, shall be the same Shamayim. Find everything a way in which it's going to be advantageous for the cause of heaven in this world. It's a nice piece. I want to see here a few of the small. The three small pieces here. In the there's another commentary. What's it called again? That was Derech Chaim. This is the Orchos Chaim. Yeah, it's interesting. Derech Chaim
Mm-hmm.
is the broad commentary. Orchos Chaim is the specific nuances and details, right? So
Okay.
his parish on this on Derech Eretz Zuta, it has to do with this concept. Telling me Hashem Mitzadei Gover Kononu V'Darko Yechbatz. From God, the footsteps of a person are prepared, and his pathway he will want. Tzadei Gover Him Apratim. The footsteps of a person are the details. Asher Yitzad Baruch which he traverses in his smaller pathways. Magolosav. Magolos are also pathways. They're kind of like, Magal is normally understood to be like a circular roadway, but it's the same principle. Hema einam
Okay.
b'koach adam. You're not in your power. Rakin Hashem kananu. With the smaller pathways you go on, that's from God. What he wants from you is that your derech should be the same derech, no matter what what path, where he sends your footsteps. It should all be directed the same derech. Person should direct his derech, and it should be the sake of it. The broader pathway for me to choose a mutalai. That's my responsibility. Kasher Tereni. And as you have
Taught.
directed me. Achora kodu madrachecha, but achora kodu madrachecha. Just showed me in general what's the way to go. I said that about me. Then I'll go by my own. No, let's give me post Pesach, peacefully Pesach, Kepischo Shamachad. Right, give me a small opening, and I'll know where to go already. But I can't go. I can't know how to go in the smaller pathways. So just give me the map, and then I'll be fine. But the Baruch Mishor, that already I need your GPS. I can't do it without without the detailed pulling pulling me along the right way to go. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Heve ohev es hashamayim. V'yoremin hashamayim. Okay, cool. You should love heaven, but fear heaven. The two types of love. Abba Yeshara, direct love. So you love your friend. Shalom Hashem to Elasatzmo. Not for your own advantage. Bava Chuzeres, and reflected love. So you love something because for your own benefit. So as you don't love the other person, you love yourself. It just comes back to you. That's why you love the other person. Thank you. As long as you serve God for some reward, etc. It's not loving God in heaven. It's only loving yourself. Therefore, once he told you all your drachim should be l'shem shamayim, not for your own advantage. He concludes and says, love heaven directly, not because of reflected reward you'll get. Because then your love will have to do with heaven. What is this the metaphor of l'shamayim, which we use, I guess, very all over? The point is to say that even if the advantage of it was not only in shamayim, that he caused, so to speak, an achasur to Gersh Baruch Hu, or he brought fixing to the Lama Solyoni, right? That below Eretz, and we know it not advantageous at all to the land. Im calls then nevertheless it's proper to do this. This is the perfection of it. It's Hashem. You give thanks and praise to the entity which does good, but not for doing good for you, but doing good even to others. Your love of Shemayim is because Shemayim is great, and what it does is benefits the entire world, not just and not primarily, and perhaps even to the exclusion of yourself. Because the moment you love Shemayim because it loves you, then your love is because you love somebody else because they love you. And that's not ideal love. Ideal love is love the other entity because that entity has tremendous milus, independent of whether they are directed to my advantage or not.
Right. Okay.
Okay. V'arei me'avor mitzvah, and similarly, you should be fearful of transgressing a mitzvah. Not because of the fear of the punishment. Elamina shamayim. Because it's against the will of heaven. Even though already explained that love should be shamayim, which is Ava is always greater than Yira. Ava became nevertheless Masir Lios Gami Remi Shamayim. You should also be fearful. This is because it's known Ashamidas Ava Lo Tistarer Ba'adam. It won't last in a person. Love won't last. Rakasha Zulas Gamuavo. Maybe it won't take effect. It won't last unless another person reciprocates that love and the other person loves him. Then it's like water takes on the form of its vessel. One face takes on the form of the other vessel, right? So there's this reciprocity, so that is there's love which greets love. But the other person just starts arguing with you. You are a kolchamaso, and it's going to awaken all of his anger. Inside his love. And also there'll be diminished the love to the other person. His love is not complete, my love is not complete. Wow. If not, nobody's going to be able to get away, even if they're the highest person. So only v'inui, that won't occur to him here. Poverty and affliction, or machlo benega, or illness, or some other affliction. They says sometime for a reason which is best known to God, so to speak. So it's going to cause slack in his loving relationship with God. And they won't have the capacity to enhance with power and with strength his avodah to God through Avas Shamayim. Therefore, a person has to add strength to his avodah Hashem. At that time, because you're Shamayim. The power of Yira turns over its strategies. Is fortified. Before a person, something which causes him anguish. So there's a Yerushalmi which says this. I say, may ahava, which is ahava she'ein ha'ohev soneh, because somebody loves doesn't come to hate. I say me'ira she'ein ha'yoreh boet, and do it out of yira because yira, a person's yoreh doesn't kick. Because there's sometimes when the ahava is not working so well, right? It's true, when you're ohev, you're not soneh. But that's the Derech would say, yeah, when you're ohev, you're not soneh. But sometimes the ahava is not that strong because the other guy is not reciprocating. So therefore, at that time, you need the ein hayore boet. So you don't kick it off. So therefore, you need a yira as well. Okay, so both av and yira are necessary. One without the other is not going to work all the time. Okay, with me on this?
Yes.
Okay, so he says, makdim is the ava yira. Why does it say ava before yira? Keder shanu isbalim. I would say v'yache libavenu. Let's get to the whole page here. We should unify heart for love and for fear, which is an interesting idea because evidently, normally we say love after fear, right? So here brings out interesting thing in the Orchos Chaim, and it brings in Gimel. He brings down that the time. I'm going to paraphrase it. And the brought took Rabbi Kiva out to be killed. It was Makriyah Shema, and they were combing his flesh with metal combs. As Kaba Omach Shemaim Ba'ava. Look, so Tommy said, even after they kach, he said, all my life was at anguish as possible. Even no those nafshcha. I said, when are we able to do this? And now it came to my hand to do it. I'm not going to do it. So he says there are many, many issues with the statement, which many sworn before me have already brought up, right? So he says, they wants to say with this, Kapisha B'Yarno, I'm going to pick it up now in the 6th line down. Sometimes Abba doesn't work for a person unless Hashem's doing good for him.
Wow.
Mora, however, here, Tazveh Batzar will help him out in that keep his relationship with God, even when things are not going well.
Mhm.
Right? But we find what's seen together,
Yes.
but the
It
certain
sounds like it's
Ava, which is so
all
great,
together.
works in times of anguish and travail. Doesn't and you don't have to come out the Europe.
There's been a lot of wind.
David, Asher Ava,
Windstorm.
David, where they had this love. After David, even though David was very bad for Yona's son. It's going to take the kingship from him. Yosef Reish Etzem Yishol, because Yona's son was supposed to be the crown prince, right? And David's going to usurp him. Im Kozen, nevertheless, Avo, Yona's son loved David, like a person who loves his own soul. Just like a person loves your own self, even when he does bad, right? We all love ourselves, even though we loathe ourselves. You understand David, so you understand love David. So they saw him being combed with these combs of metal. It's a time when you don't think so much of love. Okay, so Makabo Omach Shemayim B'Yira, fine. But Makabo Omach Shemayim, Makabo Omach Shemayim B'Ava. So Choshishu, they're afraid. Pentafuk Ahava Israel Kozos. Maybe love is going to dissipate. Lotachstik Mumozah, it's not going to hold on to its strength. Hashlim Avodah Shamayim Kroy to properly fulfill Avodah Shamayim. Lachein Amru, they said Rabbeinu Adkan. Yosai Samidas Avodah Hashem. Till now, you can see you Avodah Hashem. But now when things are going rough, and it diminishes the power of love. It's time for a bit of Yira. Ava isn't going to cut the mustard in this situation. So what do you say? No, you're mistaken. I have a much greater love. Like that love, you understand David. I was always wanted to anticipate that a great evil can kill us nevesh, like my soul being taken away. Vakemenu would come to me, to maintain my love even to the point of the evil of death. Now they came to me in Shum Chashash and Shum Chashash like a matter. Don't be concerned that my avo will dissipate. O's law because my love is so powerful, even against such great evil. Okay, so what Rabbi Akiva is saying at this moment is that even though Tommy is saying, listen, but you don't make the same bracha on Ra that you make on Tov, right? You make nine emes, you don't make on Tov on Meitir. So okay, great, it's bad. Still with that Kodesh Baruch Hu. But you're going to tell us you're going to still you have love Hashem at such a time. And Akiva says, yes, my entire life I've been working on this. And my love Hashem transcends whether there's a reciprocity, apparent reciprocity, not apparent reciprocity. Like even though just like Yonatan loved David, even though it seemed to be that David would be negative for him. Okay, I think that's quite beautiful. Let's go back to the text.
Okay.
Okay, we did that. Heve. Where's the next part? Heve chareid. Sus al kol mitzvos. You should be fearful and happy about all the mitzvos. Interesting. So there goes the order. So he says, that's the quickness in activity. How nases with pachat umorah, which is done with fear and with awe. Binyane hasherus, in matters of service, because I don't know whether they are small or large. The sasa mitzvos, mitzvos. Avsha simcha ba'pachad, even though happiness and fear. Hemon yonim ha'pachim seems to be opposites, right? So he says no. Zel pachad mimikre hatzora shuminageres lesimcha. That's the fear of a occasion, which is a cause of tzara, of pain or anguish, which is the antithesis of simcha. But the fear which comes from the loftiness of God's capability, he amaneges esachored asas baba. So beautiful line there. It gives pleasure to the person who is fearful and rejoices in his avodah. There should be Arab Shalom Haras Sason when Yanshe no mistapekbo. Rachavetz Yoser. Sasanochi Imasecho Kimotzei Shalom Rav. He's saying that Sason means I'm so happy with this. I want more and more. Okay. Zel Sasa Mitzvah. She's Aveh Lasos Mitzvot Yiseros. So happy that you want to do many more mitzvahs. Come on, Chazal. Because I'll say a more ma'at, but I say harbe. Do little, don't speak so much, do a lot. Okay, I want to just see this one here because I like this Tan Velio. It's one of my it's a favorite passage of mine here in Dalit, in Orchos Chaim. Tan Velio. Odamar David Melchel Rishon. Ani oresi mitoch simchasi v'samachti mitoch yerosi. I came to Yira out of my simcha and to simcha out of my Yira. Avasi also called my love was transcended everything. When a person serves Hashem before the advantage of his reward, he'll be happy when it goes good for him. It's somebody not going to be upset and worried when it goes bad for him. He's sending a person with God, like we spoke about, to also not for any advantage for himself. As tuvo lotus, it's not his goodness which will make him happy. Not that he'll get good, rather, which will make him happy. That's not his purpose for that good. Only for God's sake. The Yerei Talmid is always going to be afraid. He hasn't fulfilled God's intent with appropriate avoid. Also, bad stuff happens to him. It won't make him upset. On the contrary, he'll be happy. That the bad thing which happened to him, like Rabbi Akiva, did not diminish or stamp out the power of his love to God. When I got some good stuff, right, and was happy about it, I was afraid that my avoda would fall short of this. Happy word. When I was in fear and trepidation, when things were going bad to me, so I also was happy. The Shem was my avodah. The reason for this is my love for God transcended everything. For avodah truly Hashem Shamayim is achbo yachad. They'll be rejoiced together. Hacharada, the fear of hasason and the happiness come forward with Derech, like we explained Derech. Okay, so Yira we told Simcha, so here means when I'm in a state of Simcha, I'm afraid to lose it. Afraid of Yira, it makes me happy. That is
Okay,
fundamental principle of Judaism.
that's a nice,
Come together.
that's nice touch.
Okay. So I think
All
we'll
right.
stop here for today.
Yeah, Yeshikoyach.
It was good stuff today. You got to admit that, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Have a
All
good week.
right. You too. Take care.